Nate Carlisle joining us, and Nate, there's always this balancing act, isn't there, with when you're talking about doing things outdoors, and how much responsibility you give to the people to decide to do something so treacherous. You've hiked it. I've hiked it too. It's a scary hike when you get to the top there, but you kind of know what you're getting into.
Yeah, and I think you saw that debate amongst the two professors we interviewed for the story. One of them wants to see a permitting system that would limit the number of people on that trail. The other professor, he just favors kind of an educational campaign to, as you said, Max, really inform people as to what they're getting into before they commit to this hike.
I imagine that some of the solutions that they talk about would even have to do with budget. If you have a permit system, you also have to have someone there to check the permits.
Yeah, that's right, and that's also, I assume, the issue with why there aren't routinely rangers on this trail, that you got to pay for a ranger to be on the trail if you want that to happen.
Yeah, you know, and I wonder also, as we talk about that, they do limit access at times when the conditions are too treacherous, but I'll tell you, when I was in college, I hiked that trail. I did it in the winter. I was all alone. And there was snow on that path that we're looking at right now. It was terrifying. I was stupid to be doing it and probably shouldn't have been allowed to do it.
Yeah, I mean, they don't close it very often. As you said, Max, it's really when there's just, extremely poor weather or other conditions.
Yeah, and he mentioned with the professor you talked to from Bowling Green, maybe one of the top 5 most dangerous hikes in the country. National Park Service, do they worry about liability? I mean, they're a government agency, I suppose.
I don't know. The National Park Service did not answer any of our questions about this, which is really strange. I mean, usually you get at least a statement out of a federal agency. This time they didn't deliver anything. We asked a series of questions about this trail and just nothing.
You know, I know that visitation was down to national parks last year, the national parks in Utah as a whole, but you say that this past January and February, it spiked again. It started setting records?
Yeah, I mean, Zion is good about publishing visitor data on its website, and it was down in 2020, but not by as much as you'd think. 2019, they had 4.5 million people, and as you said, this most recent January and February were the biggest 2 such months they'd ever had. So I would bet that it's well on its way to setting another record in 2021.
All right. Well, it's certainly something to think about. Angel's Landing is one of those. It is one of those iconic places. It's hard to know how to balance those things out. Thanks a lot for that reporting, Nate.